Serious epilepsy warning. G-Potato here. I was working on my next video, and not to spoil what the video is about, but what I was going through while making it was such a bad experience. I got this horrible migraine. So I took a break from what I was doing and decided to do something else. That's when I remembered AudioVisual uploaded a new level. So I checked it out and... Did this help my migraine? No. Was it worth playing? Yes. Now, I don't think AudioVisual needs any introduction, but if you don't know him, he's made revolutionary levels such as Obama 3, Obama 2, there is no Obama 1, and Wisconsin. Deprivation, his newest level and second best level behind Obama 2, is probably one of the most in-your-face levels released this year. I mean, shit, let's just go part by part. You enter the level and you're immediately greeted by this very minimal and abstract wave section. Design deco has come a long way. I do want to critique something about this section. That being, the level adds a lot of artificial difficulty by abstracting what this wave section actually consists of. This wouldn't be an issue at all if all the other parts telegraph their gameplay in a very abstract way too, but I don't think this really is the case, which makes this part stick out as a bit of an outlier when looking at the level from a comprehensive perspective. On that note, AudioVisual tries to say that this is a memory level. However, I'd have to heavily disagree. I feel there's a huge difference between memory levels and learning levels. Alright class, on the left, we have a memory level. Matter of fact, here's another. On the right, we have a learning level. Here's another. These are not interchangeable. You can blur the line. However, with deprivation, is it really that difficult to see what you need to do most of the time? The gameplay is pretty linear. And you know what else is pretty linear? Absolutely smashing that subscribe button and ringing the bell. Okay, in all seriousness, only a fraction of a % of you are subscribed. So can you like change that? That consistency criticism aside, this part in isolation looks and plays great. I love all the little waveforms and little like scribbles, not to mention the fact the level is just fucking staring you down the entire time. Yeah, so there's some lore implications that I'll get to later. Also, real quick, something that really annoyed me about this level is that the level on some attempts would just dim. I literally tried everything to not have this happen, turned off frame extrapolation, made sure low detail mode was off, made sure not to click at the very start, and it just kept happening. And just now, while making this video, I found out it was caused by this little hitbox at the start of the level. No label or anything, it's just there. Audio, if you see this video, please make it more clear that, you know, that thing dims the level. Like put a little pickup item over it or something. There's no indication it's even there. Now this next section just launches you into this cube. The gameplay here starts off pretty sharp until you get to the ship section. Look, this is probably the least consistent part of the level for me. It's just really easy to get slightly misaligned and jank out on these orbs. It's really loosely designed, and it's like just that part of the section that janks out. The rest is fine. I don't know what, like, why is this so buggy? Anyway, the deco's good, very good in fact. Like how the kick is shown in this huge waveform in the center of your screen. I also like the ominous, like, far-reaching background, all the little messages. The lore implications, which I'll get to. Now, as much as I hate to say this, I'm not the biggest fan of this ball part. The deco's fine, matter of fact, it's great, but the gameplay is pretty bland and unimpactful. There's very little visual feedback between clicking and something happening with the ball, and because of that, it feels like my clicks have less purpose, which makes me feel pretty disconnected from the level. The next section... I have to draw the parallel. I'll get to the sentience later, but I'd like to talk about this gameplay. I think this gameplay, in terms of being good, is passable. However, it has a lot of missed potential. Imagine how much more fun it'd be if it wasn't just dodging gears. Like you could slide on a bunch of D-blocks, that cool gravity portal shit. I don't know. I still like this section, it's very unique, but there's tons of missed potential with this part's gameplay. And of course, the visuals in this part are great. Super in your face, flashing this like brutal text across your entire screen. Yeah, no, it's great. Okay, I've been putting it off long enough. I think it's time I talk about the lore implications. Okay, so up to this point, this level has exposed several of its body parts. That being the mouth and eyeballs, does this imply the level's sentient? If that's the case, I mean, I have some questions related to anatomy. This could very well be the second-rated level to canonically have an asshole. Anyway, next part's also a mixed bag. On one hand, I like the desolate atmosphere and change of pace. On the other hand, it's literally just a bunch of QuickTime events. You can accomplish the same atmosphere and desolation with standard Geometry Dash gameplay. This part's just very gimmicky for very little reason. And, I hate to say this, but the part after that is also a mixed bag. Look, visually, this is one of the best and most unique parts of the level, but you can literally just jitter click and get through the entire section. The gameplay isn't very good, and it's a shame because the visuals in this section are fucking great. I have zero complaints with them, but the gameplay's a complete afterthought. And I know audio is more than capable of doing better because this last section, 64% to 88%, is absolutely phenomenal. The gameplay and visuals complement each other beautifully. If the entire level was up to the same quality of this last section, this would easily be up there with my favorite levels of all time. And the visuals for the entire duration of the entire level, even in the parts I've had criticisms for, are great. They're genuinely great. But alas, we live in a dystopia. The air's putrid, grass is yellow, and most of the gameplay and deprivation by audiovisual is just fine enough. Besides this single really janky ship, I don't think this level's necessarily bad in many ways. It's actually kind of like Super Mario Wonder. It's like really cool the first playthrough, but then you replay it and the novelty really wears off. That's why I'm giving this level a 7 out of 10. I very well enjoyed it, however, it leaves me wanting something better. If you want a level around the same difficulty, with some fun duels like as seen at the end of Deprivation, I heavily recommend Break Free by Optation. If you want a level with a similar style to Deprivation, I recommend Backbeat Revenge by Darwin. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and sub, and also let me know your thoughts on the level. Did you enjoy it? Love to have some discussions with you guys. Also be sure to check out my music on Newgrounds, and I'll see you all next time. See ya.